Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and with me this week is our resident gaming journalist Eli,
How's it going, everyone?
our pro gamer and anti-hipster Mike,
What up, fools?
and our retro aficionado Unoclay.
I'm back from New Donk City, baby. What's up?
That's what that was. Thought you were just going crazy. Oh man.
Sorry for being away for so long. It wasn't out of lack of love for you guys. It was just
we heard you loud and clear. We just let you on the podcast so we could kick you off of it.
Oh man. Goodbye.
Good riddance. No. Cool. So I guess we'll talk about what we've been playing, and I've just mostly been playing Splatoon. Actually, I've been playing mostly Salmon Run the last couple of whatever, I guess, week or 2 weeks or whatever it's been, and I forget you can't. It's dumb because you can't check your level like unless the mode is online, because you have to jump into it to check it, which is kind of weird. Even on the app, you can't do it, even though it has all the other stats on it. But I think I'm at like the third level or whatever it is. And one night I got so close. It was like 90 out of 99 was my experience level. And of course, like I played a bunch of matches and we got swamped and I went down to like 70 and I think we kept going down lower or whatever. And I'm like, okay, it's 3 a.m. I can't spend like another hour trying to get past this level. And unfortunately, once Salmon Run is done for that, I don't know, shift or whatever you want to call it, it resets back to 40. So all that work was like useless anyway that whole night because it just resets itself. So you basically like have to make progress past the level or else you're dead, which is a bit annoying, but it is. Yeah, but it is fun. The only, I guess, issue I have is that because I've been playing Salmon Run more than the other modes, it feels like I'm not like it has no effect on anything else. So it's like, oh wait, no, you're still level whatever in the other mode. So I don't know, there's something weird about that. Same with single player. I kind of wish like that would affect the multiplayer somehow. Maybe it does after you beat it. I don't know. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm on like the 4th world out of 5. So we'll see what happens.
So let me make sure, just for the listeners and my own edification, because I've just started Splatoon 2 within the last couple of days, and like you're saying, I kind of forget how the leveling works in Salmon Run, which I really liked from what I've played so far. But like you're saying, it doesn't save your mid-tier, your mid-level progress. It's like you only can make it to the next like job class, and then if you don't make it to the next one, it's meaningless. You might as well just not play. Is that what you're saying, basically?
Yeah, it resets. I didn't even know until like I had to search something else, and I found on like a Reddit board that it resets back to 40 after like that Salmon run is over. Like, oh man.
When you say that 40, what is I don't remember what that means. I remember there's like a job.
Yeah,
like
you basically have like an experience bar that's 0 to 99.
Okay.
So basically, if you finish, regardless of if it was below 40 or above 40, it'll just be at 40.
Oh, it starts in the middle, is what you're saying of the next. And that's your job class, right? Like I started as like amateur or something. I don't know what it was called.
Like part-timer, I think is the first one.
Yeah, part-timer was like second. I think I think I moved up to part-timer after playing for like an hour, and then that was it. Like that's as far as I got because that's all the time I had.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I'm on like the
Okay, so it's basically like make sure if you're playing,
it's like you have to play, and I like if you care about leveling up, it's like you got to make sure you're dedicated that night to like get up a level.
Get to the next tier. Yeah. Okay, or just turn it off. Like if you're like not gonna make it and you're just that's your main goal. Okay,
yeah,
that's a good tip. I would have never known that, and I would have been like, why the heck am I not advancing? Like I would have noticed that eventually. So
yeah.
All right.
I do like it. It's fun. It gets really crazy when I don't know what they call it, but basically like when you get high enough, you basically get like a zombie mode where just a bunch of fish will come after you, and there'll be like the golden fish. And then once you blow that up, you get like a bunch of eggs that you have to bring back to your base. And it's not like the egg collecting part that's hard in this specific version. It's not dying, because you just get overwhelmed with so many enemies at once. It's insane. And that's that's why it gets harder to level up past the end of the level, because once you get near the end of the level, they start throwing those at you, and you might get like 2 out of the 3 matches like that. It's like, oh man, it's nuts, but it's cool.
Has anybody else been playing a lot of the Salmon Run since Matt's talking about it?
I've been playing a decent amount of it. I think it's really great, as I talked about before. I just wish voice chat was easier, because like Matt and I played a little bit back when the game came out, like a little bit after it came out, and we just connected through Skype because it was such a pain in the ass.
To be fair, we haven't tried it, but I also don't feel like putting the effort to try it either. Just like,
Exactly.
Whatever, I'll just open up Skype. All this, because you gotta like select the mode in the game, I think, to be able to do it, and then you gotta go on the app, and then you gotta make sure you don't close the app and do something else. And then if you're on opposite teams for Turf War, then you can't hear them, which, I mean, I guess there's a reason to that, but sometimes it's fun to just like yell at someone if you kill them. I don't know.
So let me get this straight. I have this janky Kindle tablet, and I haven't bothered to download this app yet. Called the programs back when I was a day. Now it's cool to call it an app. Or
executables. Probably in the 90s.
You know, totally get a command prompt, do an exe, totally. But yeah, like so you're saying you couldn't even click away from the app if you're using it, or it'll shut it off. Like you would
like if I'm on Skype on my iPad and I like go to Safari or whatever, and it it takes up the whole screen, I can still talk to you. With the app, I can't.
That's just ridiculous.
I mean, it has all the stats there if you want to look at that, but that's about it. And it can tell you if Salmon Run is running that day. It's weird. If it doesn't run that day, it just won't mention it at all. But if it is, it'll say like what times it is.
I'll download it, check it out. That sounds like mildly useful at the very least.
Yeah, it's got some usefulness. I just wouldn't bother voice chat with it.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Mike doesn't play Splatoon, does he? Mike, do you?
No, I still haven't bought it. Like, I want to. Just I kind of moved here and I literally didn't plug into anything yet. Like, I don't know, like grad school is kind of taking a toll on me. But I'll plug stuff in soon once I settle.
Yep. Okay. Well, I was just curious because like I felt really out of the loop, and like I couldn't wait to come back and talk to you guys about Splatoon 2 because I want to get back to you, Matt, but like I just wanted to hear what you guys were saying about this main game, because I felt like bummed in a way, not bummed because I was having the time of my life in New York for like 2 weeks, but like I had the game. I went to New York Nintendo store and bought it on like my third trip there when they finally got a restock, because it was selling out like every day apparently as soon as they get a restock, and because they have like a huge chunk of the store devoted to it right now, and like so I couldn't even get it, and I just for some reason was like, I'm gonna get it at that store. I just want to, whatever. I don't want to buy anything else there, so that's just the main thing I'm gonna get. And then I bought it, and I didn't have any time to play it. It was literally sitting in its wrapper. Like I'm just like, Mike, like it's just like I don't have any time to play this game. It's awesome, so it took till like just like 2 days ago or something when I plugged it in and started playing it. So
Unoclay, you're gonna laugh at me because I can get kind of antsy if like, oh man, a new game, I wanted to come here, as soon as possible, blah blah blah, and then like 99% of the time, once it like does get here, it's like, oh well, I mean, I have other things I have to do right now or should be doing right now, and then I don't play it until like a day or two later. It's like, well, I complained and I wished it came faster, and then I didn't even take advantage of it. It's just like sits there. It's like, I better not open it yet, and it just like sits there.
I think that's like a lot of like gamers are a little bit like that. Like people get so fired up if something's delayed, and then half the people like they get their pre-order and it comes in the mail and they probably don't play it right away. It's like I think there's more. I think you're not alone on that. I was like I just didn't have the time because you know how much
you didn't bring your Switch with you, so I don't think you could have.
No, I did. I had
you did.
There and I didn't turn it on once. It was like I didn't even have time. I was like, when am I going to play this video game? I got stuff to do, So anyway, I didn't mean to distract from that with the questions, but I was so excited to hear about you guys talking about Splatoon 2, so I want to hear more. So awesome. Cool.
I think I'll pass it off on to Eli now because they've talked enough. Eli, what have you been up to?
So I've been playing. Oh, today I downloaded Sonic Mania. I only played like through 2 zones. It's pretty fun. I mean, I don't have a history with Sonic. I didn't really play a lot of the games. in the past. The ones that I have experience with are, I think, the advanced games.
Mhm.
So not really like this is supposed to be kind of a nostalgia thing, and that doesn't really work for me. Nevertheless, I think the game is pretty fun to play. I mean, I've always liked the Sonic exposure I've had in the past, and I think GBA where I actually played the games through. So I definitely recommend it. From what I've played so far, it's a relatively cheap $20, and the game seems like a relatively bulky experience for the $20. I think they're 13, 14 zones or something like that. So, so I'm liking it so far, and the reviews have been pretty good as well. The other thing, what else have I been playing? Oh, I finished off Persona.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. I know. Well, it was
It
a
only
thing
took
where, like,
you
I
300 hours.
Well, it took me, I think, gosh, I don't remember, 92 hours maybe when I finished. Also, when it was all said and done. I don't remember exactly. I think it was around 92. Problem was that, like, every 10 hours, I thought I was almost done towards the end. And then there would be, like, another 10 hours left. I think at about the 60-hour mark, I'm like, all right, I'm almost done. And then, like, I always thought I was almost done, and I just wasn't. The game, I think, was like 25, 30 hours too long. And towards the end, I was just like, oh, come on, sort of thing. Because it just kept going and going and going. I love the game, and I loved especially the first bulk, the first 50 to 60 hours. But then after that, it gets a lot more tedious, and I have more issues with it.
Wait, let me get this straight. A 90-hour RPG got tedious.
It's crazy.
Dude, no,
it's crazy, I know.
Persona 4. I'm playing that as well.
The thing for me is that, like, so I love our RPGs, but I haven't had the time to, like, really delve into some of these recently, especially since, starting university in the last 2 years. So the fact that this is probably, like, putting 90 hours into an RPG for me is probably the most I've put into a game in a long time. And that includes, like, I mean, I've completed the Pokédex and stuff like that, and even then I'm like, I don't remember the last time I put over 90 hours into a game.
Yeah, that's a lot too.
Yeah, 90. I mean, Zelda, you didn't hit 90 with Zelda?
Nah, I think I was around 50.
Oh, yeah, you were like, you definitely went straight.
Maybe less.
And I think from what you said, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a completionist in that one.
Yeah. No, it's all good. That's right. I remember you were one of the faster people, because most people, I have about 50 people on my friend list now, and when I'll look through what everyone's playing all the time just to see what's getting the most hits, and like I'd say the average for Zelda is easily 100 for most players, like, and that's like the average, not the like high end. It's like pretty obvious, like a lot of people like hit the 100-hour mark with that game, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, I remember that you were like kind of like went for it pretty early on or whatever. So yeah, 90 hours is a lot.
Indubitably. All right.
Well, let me ask him quick. With regard to the Sonic game, did you say you did or did not play the original Sonics, like the original Genesis trilogy?
I did not.
Oh, okay. But you're liking it? Like, you played 2D Sonics before, like in some form, or is this
Yeah, I mean, I've played the GBA ones, which are not like, I guess, the original. I don't know how much they're like the original because I never played the original. But okay. I don't know. From everything I understand, the GBA versions are regarded to be pretty good.
I never played them. I'm not sure. Okay. Cool. Yeah, at $20, like I looked at it and thought it's probably not a game I'm going to buy if it went down to 10. And that's not me being cheap. It's like, I'm not the world's biggest Sonic fan. I really wish I liked them more. I try all the time, and I own, I think, 3 out of the, if you consider Sonic and Knuckles part of the original 4, I suppose, like, then I own 3 out of the 4. But like, I don't know. There's not my favorite games ever. It's not like hate. And so it's like, for me, $20 is like, I know I'm going to play it and be like, I wish this is more like Mario, not to be a jerk, it's how I will feel. And it's like, so I'm going to wait and think about it. But maybe the 3D Sonic that's coming later will be a little better for my tastes or something like that. So,
Mr. I don't like 3D thinks he's going to be turned around with 3D.
Why did you wait for 3D Sonic when you have Sonic Mania? You know how
I know.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of the greatest games ever made.
I know. Yeah.
That's good.
I'm not trying to hate. Like, I'm genuinely not trying to hate. I know people love Sonic. It's like, it's just not my thing. It's never, and I owned it as a kid. It's just not, it's never quite clicked for me or something. It's okay. So are you gonna get that, Mike? Are you gonna get the new Sonic games?
Yeah, dude. My pre-orders. I mean, I can't get it early because I'm not in New York, so I don't know anybody who can get me stuff early around here. But I was gonna say was I looked at my Amazon pre-order, dude. I pre-ordered Sonic Mania on like September 13th or 17th, 2016. So I was like one of the first guys to pre-order that game. All right, but I had since I guess I had the address change and it's probably gonna come in. It's gonna come to the new address, so it's coming in on like Thursday. This sucks because I wish I had it already, and I could have got it early, but I need my giant Sonic statue.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got the physical one. Nice.
Yeah. Wow, hardcore Sonic fanboy right here. That's awesome.
Bro, I love Sonic, man. Shit's my idol, bro. I even got his cartoon TV show, his comics, man. He's cool. He's cool.
I'm surprised you don't play as him in Smash at all because he seems like pretty decent.
He's pretty good. He's top 10. He's like I think 7th or 8th best on tier. I dabble with Sonic, but I don't main him though. Yeah. I use him as a counter pick. So.
Gotcha. I always think Sonic players are kind of annoying, to be honest. So that's good to hear.
One of my good friends is a Sonic player. I don't know. He's really quiet and reserved, but
yeah.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I can see some Sonic players just like it's like I feel like that for every Little Mac player. I'm like, you play Little Mac, man. You're just annoying. Like your personality is Garbo.
For me, it's just like Sonic. I mean, it's funny because it's just I'm annoyed at actually the character being exactly what he should be. He's too fast and he's like all over you the whole time with his freaking zoom dash or whatever you call it. And you're just like, get off me, like the whole time.
Zoom dash. He's not zooming in the camera. It's a spin dash.
Yeah, whatever. Zoom dash, spin dash, dash, whatever. Sonic. Freaking whatever.
He's blast processing his way through the stage.
Just blast processing all over my face here. Get off me.
Ew.
Ew. Stop blast processing my face.
This is a safe podcast.
Apparently not anymore.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh. All right, well, let's, I don't know, move on to Mike. Have you been able to play anything? You've been moving so far, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, I just got here. I mean, I sit on my computer, so I can play some Overwatch. I hit Diamond, which is like I'm like right near Master, so that means I could be a pro if I hit Master. But not like serious. You could be you can get signed by being a Master. But yeah, other than that, like I was playing Persona before I moved, and it's just like I like the game. I just find it tedious. I don't know, it's just not as good as number 4. Like. 4 was my first foray into it. I played 3, but I don't know. It's just not as interesting. I feel like I know the plot, and it's just like that's not cool. Like I like Persona 4. I had no idea, the whole time. But everything else, like I'm just waiting for that young Sonic. And yeah, but I really haven't got to play jack shit, guys. Like legitimately, I'm not got to play jack shit.
Nice. Hey,
this week on the podcast, no one's played nothing.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, we've played stuff. I mean, like, just it's been less than normal, it sounds like. But we are in, like, kind of in the weird summer months of Nintendo. Like, they dropped one of their biggest titles. And, like, how much can we talk about Splatoon 2? Like, I mean, we can, but, and there's...
Have you forgotten ARMS?
I know, right? Like... I have to get back to it. That's all I can say.
We'll get into that in the news section.
Totally. But, is there news on ARMS? Awesome. I can't wait. I've been out of the loop for news, so I don't even know what's going on.
All right. So I think we'll move on to you now, Unoclay. So you haven't really been playing, so what have you been doing traveling around?
I traveled. I was in New York for a couple of weeks. I tried to get together with Mike and surprise you guys and like show up at Mike's house, but we
were
learned,
like on the different side of the planet that day.
So, we learned like Queens is not next to Manhattan is what we learned. Like is
like you could take a train and you're like, oh yeah, that seems kind of close. Oh wait.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'll see you in an hour, and then at night I have to travel an hour back, and it was like just not.
I just drove you. It would have been like 40 minutes rather than an hour. How about that?
Yep. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I was in New York, tried to get together with Mike, didn't happen, but I spent a lot of time at different gaming establishments. I saw some pinball. I went and checked out a few different arcades and stuff, picked up some retro games, a couple different things at some stores. I did play a heck of a lot of a 3DS game because, as I've remarked before, I tend to take my 3DS with me more on my bike. And I had my bike in New York, so I was biking a lot. I think I hit 50 some miles. I clocked myself at for biking around New York, Manhattan anyway. And
Wow.
yeah, I got a lot of exercise. I'm in pretty good shape right now. Other than I think I ate 28 pieces of pizza though I counted.
Oh
So
my
I,
gosh.
But you get dollar slice. Where'd you go, man?
yeah. What was that, Mike? I couldn't hear you.
Where'd you get dollar slices? Where'd you go?
No, I'm not too much of. I don't care about the price. I want to pay for the good stuff. But I was in Manhattan, so I was just bouncing around from place to place. There's a couple places like right in center of town, like no name places that I love that I usually hit up, like nothing famous that I just know their pizza is the bomb with that like cornmeal crust on the bottom and all that stuff. So I was getting after it. That's why I was biking so much. I was like, if I'm going to eat and drink beer and eat pizza like every day, I'm going to have to do some exercise because I will be a blob. So, yeah.
That's
So I
funny,
was like,
dude.
I was staying at like 70th Street. I was biking down to like the Lower East Side a lot and like back up and all over the place. So I was doing some hardy ride, and so it was good. But yeah, and I love biking in New York. But I was doing that, and I was taking my 3DS with me because it's much more compact, and if I crash my bike or something, I'm not as worried about it at this point. So I played a lot of a game I heard the guys on NVC talk a lot about, which sounds like the most goofiest game ever, and it is as exactly as addictive as they said it was. It's a game called Pocket Card Jockey, and I know the name. We can insert
Oh, okay.
Isn't that
I think
the
I know
game
what this.
oh my god, the one from the Pokemon developers?
Yeah, the one with the horses
Oh,
card
yeah, I
Game
playing
Freak.
remember
game.
that name, yeah.
Yeah, it's Good Feel, I think, developed it or produced it. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. But it's for the listeners who haven't heard of it, it's called Pocket Card Jockey. Yes, insert like dick jokes right here about your pocket jockey and all that stuff. But it's a game where, as insane as it sounds, you play sort of like a janky version of solitaire and race horses at the same time. And it is so goofy and so Japanese, and it sounds like an awful idea. And but I heard enough people and saw reviews saying it's addictive. I'd say it's totally worth the money if you need a pick up and play game on your 3DS, because I bet I've played it like 5, 6, 7 hours between riding the subway in New York City. And then even like last night, I was having some wrist pain that I'll get into about Splatoon, but I was like, I can't play any more Splatoon. I got to like take a break from that. And I found myself like laying on my couch playing my 3DS, which is something I haven't done in a while. And it's because of that game, because it's so freaking addictive and simple to pick up and play that it's probably feels a little bit like a smartphone game to some people, the kind of thing that you just can play for a few minutes and, have a good time. But you play this kind of goofy version of solitaire, and how well you do affects the stats of your horse and affects the race. And then it'll change modes, and then you're racing the horse and you have to like control a little bit and then go back to playing solitaire. And it's like speed solitaire. So it's all about like how fast you can do it and how little errors you can make and all kinds of stuff like that. I don't know. It's funny. I think it was like $8 or $9, and I'd 100% say it's super fun if you still play your 3DS, because I love it. And just thinking about it makes me want to go play a match of it, because they're real quick. They're like 5-minute matches, or whatever, and then you're on to the next one. And it's hard too, because playing solitaire. Everyone knows this isn't a very hard game, but I haven't quite cracked the code of how to make my horse's stats go up yet, and I haven't cheated and like looked online. So I lose as many races as I win, because I can't quite figure out like everything about the game, because it's a little more complicated than it sounds at first. There's like stats and like different attributes and stuff, and I'm just trying to figure it out on my own without like Googling it. So super fun. It's basically like the only thing I played while I was in New York, other than like arcade games at Arcade and other places, where I was like getting beers and hanging out with friends and playing some games and things like that. But yeah, it's fun. And other than that, Splatoon 2, like I said in the earlier segment, I picked it up, started playing it the other night. And I've mentioned before, not too often, but I've mentioned before, I wear like wrist braces, like when I play video games, like at least on one wrist usually, because like I gave myself some pretty decent carpal tunnel motion injury from my job typing all day and playing video games.
Nerd.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, nerd.
Yeah, put the games down occasionally. Here's the lesson for you young bucks. Like it's not cool to play like 8 straight hours of a single game every single day and waggle that Wii remote like every day, you know.
Probably doesn't even know what the sun looks like.
Yeah, dude, I was like pale, dude. You have no idea. I had vitamin.
No, biking on your Wii Sports doesn't count. God.
Yeah. No, it was between Monster Hunter and GoldenEye 007 where I was like top 200 ranked for a little while. When it was on Wii, I just played it like every day so much, but anyway, it's awesome.
Oh, that game was so good.
Yeah, I loved it. I played so much online in that game. I have hundreds of hours, literally hundreds of hours. Yeah, but I have I wear wrist braces to game now because my wrists hurt a lot. And I picked up Splatoon, and I always played with gyro controls on Splatoon 1 with my tablet because I liked having the map, and I liked the gyro because I like that it can make me aim upwards faster than using the stick, sort of. But I am not going to be doing that with this one because I played maybe 5 hours, and my wrists were so painful I had to put ice on them like afterwards. Like, oh, wow. It's like I'm using the grip, and it just wasn't working. I didn't realize it till after I was done, but man, my wrists were like in pain, like after doing the gyro like constantly for like hours with Splatoon 2. So I'm going to have to learn to do it without motion controls, like, and learn to use stick only. So, yeah, I even saw like somebody released like a page online of like wrist exercises you should do before playing Splatoon 2, because apparently I'm the only one that's having this, and it's like a chart of like real life wrist exercises that you can do to like kind of limber up your wrists to avoid motion injury or whatever. So I don't know, I wasn't the only one apparently that ran into something like this. So yeah, use your head. If you're starting to feel the pain for real, it can become permanent, and I'm not even kidding around. It's like it can become permanent. So if you feel like that, if your wrists start to hurt from playing video games, like definitely give yourself a break, because you don't want it to get where I am. It's like it's kind of permanent now, and it's just like, well, I wear a brace to type computer and do everything, and that's just life. But yeah. But anyway, I love the game, so I'm just heading right. I might try and do it with like the split Joy-Con and see if that's better, because I think that will be. I think it's mainly like the position you have to hold your hands on the grip, like to tilt it like constantly. That was giving me issues or whatever. But yeah, wait, let me think. Like, let me ask you guys, can you do motion controls if you do split Joy-Con? Does that make sense?
I believe you can. I don't think there's a way that would. I don't think there's a control method where you wouldn't be able to do motion controls do that. But I think it would just be awkward to do it.
I'm not sure.
I think it would just be like kind of awkward to do it split Joy-Con, because you're moving them independently, and it might get confusing, sort of thing. But I mean, if you can do it,
I'm going to try it tonight, I think, like after we get off the podcast, and see if it works. Like, otherwise I just got to like give up and be like, yeah, this is definitely not cool, because I like went to bed last night like on ibuprofen with an ice pack on my right wrist. I was like, this is not awesome. Like,
no.
From video games.
I kind of had that experience, not to say it was to the degree of what you have, but I think I like slept on my wrist wrong or whatever, because I tend to like put my arm under my pillow and whatnot, and I woke up like one day and my wrist hurt. I'm like, oh great, I'm going to a job where like literally the job is I have to use my right hand to move things, and it's like, well, guess I'm not doing that part, guess I'll use my left hand today. And then I was trying to hold the Switch like in the portable mode, because I think someone else was using the TV at that point, and it's like, yeah, I can't like do this a lot, or I have to like hold it in one way. It's like, this is not good.
Yeah.
So it's like I get the feeling of that. It's like, oh man, you barely can rotate your wrist, sort of thing. It's like, geez.
Yeah,
it's rough.
It's very real. It's like, and it's like a consequence. I've talked to my doctor about it already. It's a consequence as much of modern life being like so computer oriented, computer and like, technology oriented, that like it's one of those first world problems for sure, but it's a very real one. It's like, the thing I can't emphasize enough is if you start to have the pain, for real take a break, because otherwise it's like you're gonna pay for it. Don't be like, yo, I can get through this, it'll go away tomorrow. Like that's what I did, and I'm like, I regret it like all the time. Like, man, I should have listened to my body, like when it was telling me to stop freaking playing GoldenEye after like 7 straight hours, and it's 4 a.m. now, and I'm still playing. It was awful.
I remember, I'll be quick while the eye has to go, but I remember one summer I felt so disgusted with myself after. I think I played like 10 or 12 hours of Infamous.
Mm-hmm.
It was like too hot. It was so hot, like it was still hot inside, and it was like muggy. And it's like I'm just sitting in the sofa, like feeling gross. Disgusting, just because of the weather and because I just like sat there all day. I'm like, I like games, but I regret this decision.
Your underwear is like glued to your body. You're just like, oh god, I am a piece of shit.
Parents come by and poke me with a stick to make sure I'm not dead. Oh gosh, yeah. But Eli has to head out, so we'll let him.
Yeah, sorry for ditching you guys so soon, but I love y'all. Nice to hear the voice of Mike and Clay. I thought they were dead. At least they were dead to me.
Feelings mutual, bro.
Hope to see y'all on Salmon Run, because that is a load of fun.
Definitely.
Go.
Follow me on Twitter at Paulo Salon. Do plug a lug there.
Cool. See you, man. Yeah, he brings up an interesting point, and I think you guys have touched on this before, but is there some barrier to playing Salmon Run if you're not the same job class or whatever?
Oh, I think what it was that he brought up on another podcast was that like the person who's a different job class like doesn't get any experience.
Oh, okay, so you can play together. It's just that is who doesn't get the experience? The lower person or the higher person?
The higher person.
Oh, okay.
So I think it would be like if we played. I probably wouldn't get experience.
I gotcha. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I want to play with other friends, but I'm also trying to like grind real quick to like get higher, because I'm only level 5 in the main campaign or whatever, the main online mode, so I can't even go in competitive mode yet.
Yeah.
And like I need to grind a whole bunch for that. I mean, I have like all I have are the dualies and the starter gun, it's like I don't have any weapons, I've got nothing, it's like I gotta really put some time in on this game, much less like be able to like hang in there with you guys like that have played it more, where I'm like I barely know the bosses in Salmon Run, it's like I get wiped out in round 3 a lot because I'm like, wait, how do I beat this guy? Dead, like so
yeah. Have you played the tutorial mission? Well, I guess
yeah. It made me. It's like, so I played them once, but then it's like they swarm you, it's like there's 2 bosses coming at you from 2 sides, and you're like, and I'm like, I don't like. And let me ask you this about Salmon Run. This sounds dumb, but are there different maps? Because I only played it like one night for like a couple hours.
Yeah, there are. I don't know how it's. I think it's just whenever it goes online, it's like different map.
Okay, so there are different maps though. Okay, because like it was the same map the whole time when I was on there for that night, and I don't mind it that much, but it was like still fun. I didn't care, but I was just wondering. I was like, is this like the regular mode where the map changes every whenever? Yeah. So okay, yeah, because then that'll be another thing. I don't know any of the other maps. I know the one map that I played, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna suck. I'm gonna be really embarrassingly bad because I won't even know where to go. I won't know the tricks for that level or whatever. So. Yeah, neat. That game is so good though. I am loving it. It's awesome.
All right.
All right. Well, what's the news? What's the news, bro?
So there's not much news, but there are some things I'll fire off. So, one other thing about Splatoon is that for Splatfest, I don't think you were able to join one, but they added a new map that's like just for Splatfest. That's kind of cool. And apparently, like the map will change up with each Splatfest. It's got like this Twilight Zone kind of spacey vibe to it. It's weird. That's interesting. I forget what it's called. I think the Japanese one is called Twilight Zone. I forget what our name is called for it, but whatever.
It's America for Twilight Zone. Yeah. That's cool. They should have done that in the first one. That's a great idea. Like having its own like realm, like its own final destination.
Mm-hmm.
Like like competitive realm where nobody's an expert, like, and nobody knows the camp spots that well or anything like that. So that's great.
Yeah, and because it makes it feel a bit more unique when it's like, hey, there's a Splatfest. It's like, oh, it's the same map. It's like, no, there's something different to kind of change it up.
And that's genius too, because then they have like built-in not DLC, but like free content to give away someday when they finish the Splatfest. Then they can just be like, we're releasing that board now, like for a bonus to everybody, or something like that eventually. Like, so that's cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Awesome. And then, so Dragon Quest XI is going to be localized for the West. So no one really knew if that was going to happen, but it is now. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is announced and coming to Switch. So that's kind of interesting. I guess it sold well if it's making a second one. It was basically Dragon Quest Minecraft for Unoclay. Yeah. And then this thing just happened today, which is kind of a kick in the pants. Amazon Prime in Canada decided to change. When you pre-ordered a game, you could get it for 20% off if you had Amazon Prime. Now they've lowered it down to 10%. And to tell you how much of a pittance that is, the sales tax in Ontario is 13%. So it doesn't even cover like the sales tax. And if you look through like all of our provinces and territories, like most of the provinces and territories are like 10% or over. There's only like 3 that are like 5%. So it's like, oh, well, this one big thing about Amazon Prime pretty much makes it like useless unless you buy a lot of random crap off of Amazon. But it's like, oh yeah, no, thanks for that. So
that's interesting.
But I'm wondering, maybe you guys could get affected next, because I don't know why they haven't made a statement for why it's lowered. The people just saw it, and then some talked to customer service and confirmed it. So who knows if we'll drop the prices in other countries.
That's unfortunate, but yeah, weird. Well, it's what it is. What are you gonna do? You Canadians
go to another company.
Well, you're always getting stuck, you guys, on these pricing things. It stinks. Like listening to you talk about it, it's like, wow, it's already expensive enough to deal with this stuff down here. So it's unfortunate.
But the joke's on them, because I pre-ordered like 25 games. There's some like E3 deal, and it's like, oh, if you pre-order it, you get like 20% off of whatever. It's like, okay, I'll just pre-order every possible thing I might want, even though I may not buy it at all. And then I'll just cancel them if I don't want them, which is what I did like some other year. But yeah, so I mean, I'm covered, but the other people are probably going to be kind of pissed off because they just changed it out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like you guys in your pre-orders, like you guys get after that stuff. I just am not a pre-order kind of person. Like I'm all about saving money, but I feel like a lot of times for me, it would just be an excuse to spend more money. Like if I pre-ordered all this stuff. So it's funny. You guys like get after it a lot more than me, like listening to you and Eli, especially, and Mike, you guys are all like, I'm definitely like, a lot of times I know what game's going to buy, but I'm too lazy to pre-order anything. And I don't know. It's funny. I listen to you guys.
You get cool rewards, man. Like, I mean, I don't really pre-order when it's like, oh, get this super bajillion dollar mega collector's edition. But like, the one thing I was gonna say was like, I do like pre-orders when it's like, you know what, here, get a really cool statue that it's gonna be like $50 at somewhere else, like, and you're like, I don't want to pay $50, but you're getting it technically for free with it. Or if they go like, oh, you can get the quote day one edition, and it's the same price as the regular game, but it just comes with like DLC that helps you in the beginning. Like, I think Ni no Kuni 2 is doing that. They're like, oh yeah, here, you get the game and you can start off with like this sword. And I'm like, all right, this sword sucks after like an hour into the game. But you know what I mean? It's like, hey, I got something cool. And then like, I'll be like, I can't sell this. And then I'll realize at the end of the game, I'm like, oh, I already sold that 5 attack weapon. It's trash. But, it's those little things. Like, a few of them I'll go hard on, like games I really respect. Like if Mario did one, like I would pay like a lot of money. Like Sonic, I would. But like the Zelda one, I got I get the Masters Edition. Like those are franchises that I respect, and like I definitely would do it. But like other ones where it's like, oh, get Minecraft pre-order. I'm like, I don't give a crap. Like even Splatoon, like it's a cool game, but like I'm not going hard for that pre-order life.
Sure.
For me, it's
yeah.
Oh, go on.
Go. No, I didn't have anything to say. It's your turn.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say for me, like, it's not like I really care about pre-ordering. What ends up happening is one of two things. It's either cheaper. So here's how it goes with me buying games. I usually know what I like and if I want it. So if I know I will like it enough to buy it, I might as well just buy it at launch and then like pre-order it so I can like get it delivered or whatever. So it's more of like I was gonna buy it anyway, so why not? Another reason is because there's like a discount some of the times. So it's like, well, if I was planning on buying it anyway, might as well get the discount. Or if it's Nintendo, which doesn't drop their price for like 7,000 years, it same scenario. It's like, well, it doesn't matter when I buy it, it'll still be the same price. Might as well get it on day one anyway. So
yeah. No, you guys, it makes sense. Like I'm almost envious that you do it because it's like funny. I spend plenty of money on everything, and like the irony is like I'm not saving money by not pre-ordering. A lot of times it's more like I'm being cheap in advance and then paying for it on the back end because I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe like even Splatoon, it's like I don't know. It's just like I know I'm gonna buy it, but I don't like ordering things that get mailed to me. That's probably part of it when it comes to brand new games. I order stuff all the time that's old stuff off eBay or whatever. But like new stuff, it's like if I'm gonna get Splatoon, it's almost like I still have that like connection to going to the store and buying it and bringing it home and playing it, like or something. It's an interesting thing because I feel like I'm on the outside of that club and I should get with the program or whatever and save some money, but I'll keep thinking about it based on what you guys are talking about. So,
all right.
Well, pre-orders.
Yep. So people were kind of mad when the guy who made another Metroid 2 remake had to like close his game down because he worked on it for like, I don't know, a decade or whatever. But not all is lost because he actually got hired by Ori and the Blind Forest team. So he's going to be like an environmental... I forget. He's going to design like levels in that game. So that's kind of crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're talking about the guy that remade the Metroid 2 and now that's the one you're talking about like last year or earlier this year. Yeah, totally. Gotcha. Well, that's good. I mean, like I think for a lot of those guys, it's like the gateway. Like you develop this game in that sense, you develop like an indie game like that or something like a crowd type game. And then, you hone your chops and maybe, it's same as doing comedy, same as doing acting. Like you might end up like getting a job out of the deal. In fact, if you show that you're good enough. So that's kind of cool. Awesome.
Especially when you do something that gets so much attention, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's quality and all that stuff. But I mean, most importantly, you hone your chops. I mean, it teaches you the skill of the very thing you want to be doing, apparently. So that's cool. Good for him.
Cool. And then the last thing is, I think you probably missed this out, but ARMS actually got data mined. And one of the things people found out was a list of names. So I think they're like code names or whatever, but people figured out that there's a bunch of different names that allude to characters in the game, but also characters that aren't in the game. And we know there's more characters coming, so people figure these are alluding to characters that are going to come in the future. And one of them, I forget the actual like name of it, but it was somewhere along the lines like it was a candy themed kind of character. And recently we got a post from the ARMS Twitter account basically teasing off like a new character coming, and it's like based around like candy and sweets and things like that. So we should see this new character, I don't know, in a week or two, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's I think at least 5 or 6 new characters that were on the list.
That's
so
cool.
They'll be supporting it for a while. Looks.
That's cool. I need to like try to find time, is all I can say, to play more ARMS because like every time I played it, I have a good time with it. It's like I have a great time with it. I just don't. I have, the same problem we all have these days, the very first world problem of too many games to play. And so it's like I have Zelda unfinished.
Oh man.
I got this brand new
Splatoon for like a year and a half.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I mean, like, I'm not like in this dying urge to finish it, so it's like it's kind of like there for when I want it, you know. It's like, and then like everything else, like all the indie games that were just getting slaughtered, like with like just game after game. It's like at least like every other week there's a half decent indie game or smaller game that comes to Switch library that like I want to play. You know, it's like I'd say every other week I feel like there's one I might add to my wish list where I'm like, that looks kind of cool. Like maybe sometime I'll get that. And it's like ARMS is in this weird place. It's like I know it's fun, but it's just not the game I put in and like want to play like automatically. It's like I gotta like I should definitely make more of a point to like connect with people like you and like make a point of playing it. You know, where it's like let's play some ARMS. You know, let's get together and do this. You know, because it's like it's cool and it's fun. It's a much like more limited experience like a lot of fighting games are. You know, you know, do you play Street Fighter every day? No, it's because it's Street Fighter. You know exactly what you're getting when you play Street Fighter, but it doesn't mean it's not good. So yeah, especially
when it's like like right after ARMS, like a month after, it's like here's Splatoon, another game that is like a total time sink. It's like great.
And is a deeper game, like in like a lot of ways. Too. Like it's got so much more going on in a way. It's hard to put your finger on why, because really you could just say, well, Splatoon's just a shooter or a competitive shooting game, you know, or whatever, like FPS, whatever, or like or third part over the shoulder like shooter. Mm-hmm. But there's something about it that makes it like feel like a bigger game, and the modes are a little more diverse and things like that, or it seems like that in your head. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, you could just simply say Splatoon is a better game.
Plus, it has like a new mode, so when you think of like ARMS, it's like, okay, well, you have the basic fighting modes, but there isn't something that's like, there isn't a mode that jumps out that makes you like want to play it. It's the mechanics, sort of thing. So it's like, okay, well, I don't know. ARMS is weird because I like it, but then some of the times, like before Splatoon came out, it's like, I don't know if I want to like jump into playing it. I don't know if I have to, you know, get myself into it, and then I play it. I would like boot it up, and I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm having fun. I'll play this for like an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is. Yeah. It's a really weird thing.
That's the experience every time. It's like, do I want to play this? Then I make myself play it. Then I love it.
I think for me, because I play with the motion controls, it's like, do I want to really like get up and have to punch things? And then it's like, oh no, I'm totally fine. What was I whining about, little baby?
That's a great point. Yeah, I feel the same way, because ever since you talked me into trying the motion controls, I really like them. I have a good time playing with them. You know, no, they're fun, and it gives you a little bit of workout and all that stuff, you know, and it's like I have a good time doing it. It makes the game harder. Part of it for me is I hit a ceiling the last time I'd been playing it. Like,
I see. You're just so good you have to handicap yourself.
Yeah, I'm saying the opposite. I hit a ceiling in that. Like I'm playing at level 5. What are the score? Like, is it 8 or 9 or the levels or something like that?
For single player?
Yeah.
I think it's like 9 or something.
I think I'm at like level 5, and I'm in the final boss I'm on headlock with the cop and the dog, who I think are natively two of the weakest that is like the weakest character, or one of them. Like, he's just so hard. Like, at least for me, maybe he's awesome. Maybe he's way, way awesome, and I don't use him right. But I feel like his native arms are so weak, and like, I'm just like, oh, like I can't beat headlock with you. Like, I get decked every time, and I didn't spend a ton of time on it, but like I felt like I'd hit a wall a little bit, where I'm like, your only choice is to reset the game or finish it. You know, there's no like start with another character. You have to finish with the one you're on. Yeah. And it already took me like, you know, hours. Like, not hours, but like maybe 2 hours.
It takes a good chunk of time to get through it.
Yeah, because you lose a lot, you know, and you have to do the match again, and it's like, okay.
Plus, once you finish like beating headlock, then you get like 20 something coins too. It's like, you're like right at the edge. So it's like, if I quit, I lost all that. Not just the progress doesn't matter. It's the progress to get those coins. Like,
yeah, I need those coins so I can buy better arms. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, and I want to be able to like knock him out and be done with the cop dog, you know, that I'm like,
you don't want to have to do it again.
Yeah, it's like, he's cool, and he's got some neat idea. He's a neat idea of a character, and I don't hate that he exists, but his like freaking starter arms are so weak, they feel like, compared to other characters, that it's like, this is like handicapping yourself to play with this character. It feels like I've never even played with the movie star booty queen that like everybody uses. Like, I've literally never used her, and it's just like, I can tell she must be one of the top characters because everybody uses her. Like
Yeah, she has
everybody.
some good arms.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you just deck me. Like everybody just decks me with her, and I'm like, I want to move on to those characters, but my goal here is to like learn the crappy characters first, almost, and like work my way up.
So what are his arms again? I forget. There's like the regular yellow fist arms.
Yeah, he's got the missiles, like the missile seekers. He's got the party poppers, which are the worst.
I hate those. I was playing with the ribbon girl or whatever, and I tried them. I'm like, this is garbage. It's so weak.
Garbage.
And I really like curving my arms around, and I don't think you can do that much. Or
they're really short range.
Yeah,
they're really
totally.
They're just like, I just switch them because I have a theory that as long as you keep switching arms, the AI will be a little more merciful on you. Where it's like for real, because it's like the way they would program it would be like, oh, the AI is thrown off a little bit, like, oh, you don't just sit on the same arms, just like Smash has like item staling or like move staling, that like the moves don't work as well if you use them twice in a row.
Yeah,
it's the same mentality. And
you know a couple of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Like, I mean, so it's like you gotta like keep moving your play action, and that's like kind of what I do with arms. And then sometimes it feels like I'm just imagining it. Sometimes it feels like it's real. But like, so I keep cycling through those stupid party poppers. Like every here and there, I'll put one on. And I'm like, this just doesn't do anything. It's just horrible. Like it doesn't but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like talking about ARMS even makes me want to play it. I can say that. It makes me remember how fun it is. Good. It's like, oh no, it's super fun. Like it's a great game.
Yeah.
So
I guess you might want to learn like how to charge your arms and then punch so you have like the status effect on the character. Because that's what I try to do. Like I think it's if you hold dodge like in a direction, then when you finish, it'll be instantly charged. Or if you jump in the air without punching and you land, you can do that. I forget. I have like a combo with, I think, like some sort of boomerang type arms and like ice arms, so I can do some weird combo or whatever kind of thing. But
the status effects are that.
I'm looking at his arms right now. Well, for one thing, you're not gonna use the party popper because it sucks. The missile ones are electric elements. So I forget. I think it like stuns you because one of the effects stuns you, and then another effect like does something similar but not quite. And then the regular fists here like blind people.
Oh right, so, right. Yeah. The status effects are the things I haven't even like gotten good enough to like understand really. Where I'm like, oh yeah, you could like counter. Well, you can't really because you can't change your arms on the fly. Like you can't change what your loadout is on the fly. So it's like you're just kind of stuck with whatever you have versus like whatever opponent you're fighting online, which is fine. Like it's probably a balancing thing or whatever. But like the status effects thing is like I only notice it when someone has one of the really deadly ones that like you notice it when you get hit with it, like ice or something, and you're like, oh man, like knock it off, like that sucks, But yeah, like anyway, I got to get back into it. It's such a good game, such a cool idea. Like I'll have to make a point of like inviting some of my friends over. Maybe we'll do like some local arms fighting or something like that. That'll give us good reason to like get back into it, all of us. So neat. Yeah. So new characters coming in ARMS like we thought, and people are hacking the game and discovering it. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I guess I'll mention one last thing. So when I was playing ARMS, some of the times it felt like one of my arms wouldn't like hit or was a bit off or something. And I figured that was just because in the game, your arms can get damaged and then, you can't really do much with them. So I figured, okay, maybe that's just something with the game and I'm just not, accustomed to it, blah, blah, blah. But it still felt kind of iffy. And then I was playing Splatoon and it was going fine for a couple of weeks. And then like a week or so ago, I was playing and I'm like, oh, geez, something feels like it's pushing me in the character in like a different direction, like physically, like I would be going one way, but it feels like I had resistance. And then at one point, like my character would get inputs like way late, and I could let go of the joystick, and it would move for me in the direction. I'm like, oh geez. So I found out I have my left Joy-Cons busted. Like, yeah. Even though I bought the console like 3 months after it came out, so I figured it'd be finished.
You need to repair. It sounds like yeah.
I mean, it'll be covered because it's less than a year, but it's just like, oh man, now I got to repair it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I have some interference that causes that kind of stuff to happen, but it seems like it's like if I block the remote, you know what I mean? Like interference, like it's not profound enough. It's only like if I put my body, like my leg or something in front of the Joy-Con, between the Switch and the Joy-Con, that it'll happen or whatever. So I have it happen sometimes, not to whatever just like degree you sound like you're describing. Let me ask you this, because I have
it's
another.
It's not common, but like when it happens, it's like, okay, I notice it's not like something I did or like something changed in the environment or anything, but
it's just happening like natively.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I discovered I'm not the only one with this problem with my Switch. Because one of my best friends said he has the same exact problem, identical. Have you heard reports, or does your Switch, does one of your Joy-Cons not lock in and stay locked? Like when you dock it to the console, does it pop out if you push on it?
Oh, like physically, like it doesn't click in.
Physically, it doesn't stay clicked. Like my left Joy-Con specifically, I think it is. It doesn't stay docked like in the console. If I push on it, even like not hard, like medium, like if not like light.
Yeah,
but
like you put pressure on it.
Yeah, if I put pressure on it, not like if I'm just playing the console, it doesn't like slip out. But like if I push even medium hard on it, it pops out like without having to press the button. And I asked my one friend, and he's like, I have the exact same issue. And it's weird because he said he was pretty sure it's the exact same one. It's the left Joy-Con. I think he agreed. And I was like, yeah, it's weird. And I don't really want to mail off my freaking Switch to get that fixed. It's like seems really dumb. You know, I'm like, it just doesn't click in properly. What I really want is like to have someone else with a Switch I got to remember to try it with one of their Joy-Cons and see if it's my console or if it's the Joy-Con, you know, and like, it, you know, can I replicate it on someone else's system with my Joy-Cons or vice versa, you know, like, you know, and determine, is it the system or is it the Joy-Con, you know, like what that's causing this to happen. So yeah, anyway, so it sounds like you don't have this problem. So
no, I can't say I've tried, like I haven't purposefully like tried it before. Like I've played it in portable mode, and I've actually taken it out in the backyard and like just played in the sun like for a little bit, playing Splatoon. That's kind of fun. But I haven't noticed it like, so when you hold it portably, you notice that it'll like pop out a bit.
If I push on it medium, yeah, like with my hand, like not just playing it, it's never happened yet. If it was that bad, I'd probably call Nintendo like that. If it was just slipping out, like when I'm playing, but like it's like if I dock it and hold the console in my hands, and then just like instead of pushing the button to release it, I can just I can get the Joy-Con to pop out without like pressing the button. You know, it's like, and that's not cool exactly, but it's one of those things where you're like, do I really want to mail it to Nintendo to get that fixed or complain about this? It's like,
I can't say I've had that problem. I can like try it or whatever, but to me it sounds like the problem is like one of the mechanisms on either the Switch console or like the Joy-Con isn't, I don't know, screwed in properly, or it's not properly like put in.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And it's weird because you can't tell. Because I was like looking at it, trying to figure out how it locks, and at a glance I couldn't quite tell. I was like, I can't quite tell what's wrong, like what's not working here, you know, kind of thing. But no biggie, you know. I was just curious since we're talking Switch. So anyway, I'll keep you posted if I get it fixed or something like that. I'm not sure. Like it's definitely not the kind of thing I really want to mail off like to get fixed. So and then if I ever buy more Joy-Cons, maybe it'll be fixed. Like that's what I'm going to try and determine with someone else. Like
if you know someone else with a Switch that doesn't have that problem, like bring your Switch to their house and try the Joy-Con.
Exactly.
And if it has the same problem, then
then
console.
Then it's my console. Yeah, then I'll know. And if it's just my Joy-Con, then I'll know. Well, if I really want to fix this, it's an excuse to buy new Joy-Cons, you know, in different colors or something. So. And
the worst case scenario is you also bust up their Joy-Con, and now both of theirs are ruined.
Yeah,
it won't happen.
Good point.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, it's. Good point. Yeah, it's no good solutions here, but whatever.
I'm not sure. So you probably didn't hear, but I want to get a custom Pro controller, like painted. and whatnot from a guy I've seen do custom paint jobs online for like several years now. But I was kind of worried. I'm like, oh, my left Joy-Con is busted. What should I do with this? Do you have a Switch? Can you test this Pro Controller? He's like, no. Maybe you should just buy it and like send it to me. I'm like, all right, maybe. And like, it doesn't look like it'll be too expensive to send it to him because I was kind of worried about that. But I don't know. I'll buy the Pro Controller and test out for a couple of days. But I'm wondering if I should just hold on to it and then send out the Joy-Con, and then when it comes back, then send out the Pro Controller to get painted, or if I should just send them out and just like.
If it was me, I would order them and just have them sent to his house if I was going to buy new ones, rather than doing all the shipping around. Like,
well, the reason was like, if I get a Pro Controller, or if I get him to buy one there and it's busted and he paints it, like I can't send it to Nintendo to fix for free because they're like, well, you opened it up to paint it, so it's not covered under warranty. About
buying a broken Pro Controller? I mean, like,
just because if the Joy-Cons are busted, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess because, well, I mean, I got worried because I actually got a busted controller, which almost like has never happened before.
Right.
So it's like, oh crap, now I'm a bit worried. But also because the fact that it's like I'm gonna have to spend like over $200 to get this thing painted anyway. Yeah. So it's like, if I spend all this money and then realize it's broken and then I send it in and Nintendo's like, we won't cover the warranty, and if we fix it, we may not even like give you your colored pieces back. It's like, oh, great.
What about does this guy actually play games and he could just test it for you?
Yeah, he doesn't have a Switch.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that was the problem.
Okay, that's the problem.
I mean, you can connect it to like a PC, so it's like I did write that, and I'm like, I don't know, I could say, could you test it on your computer and like, I don't know, download something and test it. But I mean, I didn't even know there was a problem with my Joy-Con with the Switch until like sometime after Splatoon. So it might just, who knows? He could test it, it'd be fine, and then he sends and it ends up being weird. So I don't know. Whatever. I'll at least get to play it for a bit.
Yeah. No, that's funny. Right on, man. Okay, cool. All right. Any other news we had to cover this week?
Nope, that about wraps it up.
Oh, geez. All righty. We made it. Mike had to drop out, everybody. Mike's back for the finale.
I knew we were ending it up. Yeah, my dad just hung up. Sorry, guys. It's like, hey, you don't talk to us. You're in California. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Yes, I am.
Oh,
your dad's hanging up on you, and now we're hanging up on you. See you later.
That's nice. That's nice. It's good to pick up for your parents. It's important.
Yeah, now you guys learned something. The people, listeners on the podcast, pick up for your parents, man.
Pick up for your parents. That's right. They're good people. They put up with your shit. So pick up for your parents. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we're just about to sign off. So yeah.
All right, guys.
Was there anything left you wanted to say before we sign off?
No, I just wanted to say, hey guys, thanks for like having me back. Sorry. Haven't been around. Definitely want to be around more. Hope I can make everybody proud. So that's it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast for people, but I forgot, and then whatever. But we'll be moving our podcast to or releasing on Wednesdays instead, because Mike can actually be on the podcast now. He has a day that's available.
Not Wednesdays, you jive.
No, that's when it'll be uploaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care when we record.
I got class late in Cali time, early Cali, whatever. But yeah, I mean, we'll maybe in September we'll go back when these classes end. I don't know how my schedule will look then, but yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I always love having you on. So you can find me at the Manga Viking on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and VidMe. And Mike, where can people find you?
All right, guys, just find me on Twitter and Twitch, just Troy Fullbuster. You also YouTube's been lazy, but Joey and Billy have been picking up on it. So just check out SMB Gaming 64. I think they've been doing like a horror game. So if you guys want to watch an old horror game, definitely check that out. Hopefully, I'll get back to stuff. Like I said, I'm kind of settled now, so hopefully I can put out some content. Oh, I also put up my first blog up again for a while on Detoid. So I got a few drafts written. I just haven't had time to put stuff out.
Yeah, send it over because I don't check that often enough.
Yeah.
I'm just like, guy, post the podcast on here.
Too dead.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. And Unoclay, where can people find you?
Of late, place to check me out. If you want to be Switch friends, I am Unoclay on Switch, and you can get my friend code if you want to send me a request from my lazy on again, off again Twitter account, which is Unoclay_Switch. And in my profile, my Switch code is there. So feel free to send me a friend request if you're listening and want to play some Splatoon or other games. I don't know if we know what the limit of friends on Switch is yet, but I apparently have plenty more slots. So welcome more friends.
Cool. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on pretty much every platform on the internet. We'll see you next time and leave gaming to Nintendo.
I'm New York. You'll never come in here empty-handed again. You gotta pay for the pleasure of my company.
Hey guys, what's up? I am checking in from Nintendo World in New York City, or I guess it's just called Nintendo now, or the Nintendo Zone. I should probably know. I'm inside it. I've been coming here on and off when I can and when I'm in New York for a couple of years. And the store, I can tell you, this July in 2017 has been remodeled for Splatoon. I am looking at a television roughly 10 feet tall by maybe 15 feet wide, where people are playing Splatoon on a giant screen. There are people playing ARMS next to it on much smaller but still reasonably sized screens. And there are a lot of people of all ages and races and creeds and colors walking around the store getting their Nintendo fix. This is the first time I've been here where I've really seen a store that I can recall redecorated heavily for a single game. I'm not saying it hasn't happened before, it probably has, I just don't recall seeing it myself. From where I'm standing, if you've never been to Nintendo World New York or whatever the name is currently, I can see the Master Sword. I can see a Mario amiibo statue, only it's life size if Mario was maybe a 3-foot high man. I can see a wide array of classic Nintendo products behind glass, where they kind of have like a micro museum area. Mostly it's about the sales when you walk around here or playing and testing games. I can see a play test station where they have Bomberman. Maybe I'll try that out as I haven't yet. Maybe I will try Splatoon 2 for my first time on the big screen if I can get in line and wait for it, although I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't really like lines that much. Other things of note, I saw that they do have Nintendo Switch in stock here at the New York Nintendo store, as has been rumored. I see some yelling loud customers coming in the door right now. I see, what else do I see here? Mostly with the sales, one of the things I noticed that surprised me is they have the Guardian amiibos. So I'm actually waiting on Eli to get back to me to let me know if those are still in high demand or if they've become a little more available in recent times. So we're going to find out. Don't think I'm going to be picking one up as my backpack travel space is limited. I can only fit rather small things into my backpack for the trip back to Philadelphia at the end of this trip. So if I get anything, it might be a game. I was eyeing up Cave Story, physical release. I was eyeing up, of course, Splatoon 2, which I do have to get soon, although I don't really have the time to play it right now. Or maybe something else. Maybe I'll give in and get an amiibo, or who knows. I really like getting the clothing they have here sometimes. They have some pretty cool Splatoon gear, a lot of Splatoon clothing, but they're nothing really suits me. They tend to aim a little more middle of the road for the kind of clothing they have. And it's, it's nice stuff. They have some cool logos, some of it in kanji and Japanese script, and some of it in English. So there's some neat things, but I don't think I really need another $20 t-shirt, even though they do look cool, or a Splatoon sweatshirt, which I didn't even look at the price, but I bet it was $50. They also had Splatoon hats. They had that kind of floppy hat the round floppy hat that one character wears sometimes. One of the options you have anyway. Other stuff, neat things. If you want to spend some money on Nintendo gear, official Nintendo gear, this would be the place to do it. In summary, if you've never been here, I'd say it's a good place to stop by when you're in New York City. If you're listening to this podcast, you're certainly going to enjoy it. I always wish it was a little more extensive with a little bit more to do, but this is Manhattan, and the rent for a building, a 2-story building near Rockefeller Center, is probably some of the most expensive real estate in the country. So they do what they can with the space they have, and it's well presented. I like it a lot, so I keep coming back. So that's all for now, and keep listening, and hopefully I'll be back on the podcast in real-time format within a couple weeks. Have a nice evening, and thanks for having me. Hey, this is Clay, back with another update, and I just want to add this comical side note to wrap up. The most obvious thing for me to buy here, so I could feel like I supported Nintendo, as if I need to feel that way, but would be, of course, to buy Splatoon 2, a game I'm planning on buying at some point no matter what. And turns out they are sold out of physical copies today. And they said we get restocks virtually every day. We'll probably have more tomorrow morning, but right now we're sold out of the game. So it's pretty anecdotal, not really good data or hard numbers or anything like that, but maybe the enormous oversized Splatoon game screen they have going here and all the Splatoon merch is working. It seems like people are buying the game and excited for it, at least based on one-day sales evidence at Nintendo World. All right, now back to the show. Buying the game and excited for it, at least based on one-day sales evidence at Nintendo World. All right, now back to the show. Buying the game and excited for it, at least based on one-day sales evidence